Alright, so we're checking out another small EDC flashlight. This is from a company called Speras. I've never had a chance to work with these guys before. It's a pretty interesting small little flashlight. It's called the EST Mic, I guess short for micro. And it's USB-C charging, 700 lumens max brightness, and 138 meters of throw. And as you can see, it's pretty small. It comes in this box. You can pause the video if you want to read all this information here, and we will go over the specs here shortly. I'm going to get this out of the box, but if you want to pause and read the specs now before I read them later, go ahead. Alright, so here's everything. Get in the box, get a small manual, get a USB-C to USB-A cable, and a couple of O-rings. That's probably for keeping the flashlight waterproof. Alright, so here's what it looks like. Fairly small. And just for comparison, here's the ThruNite Ti that I reviewed recently. It's about the same sort of dimensions in terms of the width, but obviously it's quite a bit taller than the ThruNite. This does have a removable battery, whereas this one is internal. So this will have a longer runtime, and it's a little bit brighter. I think it's a 700 versus 650 for the other one. It comes with a two-way clip, so you can put this on your hat. It's kind of nice and not too stiff, and it looks like it is removable if you don't want that on there. Nice tail button here, and it looks like I'll have to probably remove some sort of plastic to activate the battery. There's a look at the LED element. If you twist, this comes off. Oh yeah, so that reveals the USB-C port. So you just twist and it hides that USB-C port, and then you have to, there's that O-ring right there. So you want to make sure that it is fully sealed so that if you're in rain, it doesn't allow water to get in, but basically you just twist it, and then that charging port is revealed. I think there's also a little light there. When you plug it in, it turns red when it's charging. And I think to get the battery out, you're going to unscrew this back here. And again, it looks like there's another O-ring there, it seems. Yeah, so that's for keeping the battery compartment waterproof. And there's that little piece of paper. You're going to have to take that out so that the battery will become active, so it doesn't self-discharge. And this is a very tiny, it looks like a AAA battery, but I think it's lithium ion. And yeah, there it says rechargeable lithium ion battery. And I think this size is, I think it's called 10400 is the size. It looks like a AAA battery. And according to the manual, it's a 10440 sized lithium ion battery. Alright, so get that back in there and put the cap back on. Alright, in terms of operation, fairly straightforward. Just use this button here. You can either slightly press the button or press it all the way to click it, and that's how you operate it. There's three illumination levels, low, medium, and high. I'll show the specs here momentarily. But basically, you sort of slightly press down, and that will light it up. And then each time you slightly press and let go, it turns off, but it goes through the three different modes. I'm just going to kind of show you how it cycles if you as you're slowly pressing the button and letting go. So actually kind of slightly press and hold, but don't click it. So press it, there's low, let go, medium, then high. So each time you can do that. And then if you want to keep it on, so say like we want it in low, click it, it'll stay on. So you light it up in the mode that you want. So if you want it in low, slightly press it, then fully depress it until it clicks, and then that will keep it turned on, and then you don't have to hold the button. And to turn off, you just click it again. So basically, you short press it to find the mode that you want. So if you want medium, then get into that mode, and then click it, and then this is the medium mode, and then click to turn off. Alright, so here are the specs in the three different modes for high, medium, low, 700 lumens, 100 lumens, and 5 lumens. So quite a bit of difference between these two. Medium is actually going to be, I think, pretty useful even at 100 lumens, but that also gives you the most runtime at 2 hours. At 700 lumens, it's probably quite a bit brighter, but only get 1.2 hours. And low, which is pretty low, 5 lumens, It's 50 hours, and there's no moonlight mode in this particular model. Like some people prefer like a 1 lumen mode, but this as the moonlight mode, this one does not have that. Here are the beam intensities for high and medium, and nothing for low, and the beam reach. So obviously low doesn't go very far. Medium 66 meters and 138 meters for high. So here's the type of LED that's in there, a luminous SST12, and then the lens is a PMA or PMMA plus PC or polycarbonate. Drop rating is 1 meter and the waterproof rating is IP68. The metal body is 6061 aluminum. And here are the dimensions, 94.2, I believe that's millimeters, by 16.4 by 15, and then the weight without the battery is going to be 27.8 grams. In terms of how it feels in the hand, I think mostly I would probably hold it like this, or I would put it on a hat, and it would obviously it will clip into your pocket or whatever nicely, no problem. Holding like this is not going to be, it's kind of small, kind of holding like this, or you could hold it like this. It's not that heavy, so you could just kind of hold it like this, like a pencil. But yeah, it's not heavy, so it shouldn't be too difficult to hold, although for those of you with larger hands, it could be a little bit cumbersome. I think for myself, I would just probably hold it like, hold this, have access to the button to turn it on, and then I can just shine it where I need to. I think that's probably best, or turn on, and then I could just hold it like this to shine it where I want to in terms of the direction. But yeah, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take it to the garage where I've tested most of these smaller flashlights, and we'll see how it looks. All right, going to do a quick test in the garage, and just to let you know, I have tested this with a AAA battery, like an alkaline or rechargeable. Those are like 1.5 volts. They do not work, and at least I was not able to get it to work. So it looks like you do need these lithium-ion 10440 sized batteries for this to work. So turn the lights off. It's totally dark now. So, all right. So here's the 5 lumens right here. And not really, can't really tell. I'll put my hand here. Really only works for stuff that's really close. And I'll point at the car over here. You can kind of see the silhouette of the car in the bottom. All right. So here's the 100 lumens. Definitely you can see further off into the distance. All right. And then here is the 700. So you can definitely see pretty much all the details in the distance there. See the garbage cans and stuff in the corner, and there's the stuff on the ceiling. There's the garage door opener in the car. The beam width is a little bit less than I would like for something like for this distance. I thought it would be a little bit wider. It's pretty narrow in terms of you can see the sort of the center of the beam right here. That's where the brightest part of the beam is. But then for me, it's not as bright on the periphery. It's definitely darker on camera than it is in real life. But I can tell that the center is quite a bit brighter. Let me go ahead. I'll just take the flashlight and move around and give you a sense of what the beam looks like as I move around off in the distance, and see what that beam looks like from the side. So this is the side profile of that beam at max brightness. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for this video. Got any questions, comments, let me know in the comment section below. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to check out this really nice small EDC flashlight. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.